Hello, everybody, and here, welcome to Trading Within the Box here on January 20th, 2024. And we're going to go over the weeklies here also and see what's happening with the list of stocks that we've been following. On another day, this week, we'll do the new list that we've been following on the Dow 30 big names, okay? First of all, this is not a recommendation to buy, hold, sell, or a solicitation to buy, hold, sell any stocks, futures, forex, equities, or any options. This is an educational video only. If you'd like to purchase stocks, please contact a licensed professional or the brokerage house of your choice, and they will help you there execute. Okay, so let's get to it. So, S&P 500, let's go over it. Now, we have a lot of stocks to go over here, so let's go over the weekly. Okay, now look where we are. Let's squeeze the chart up, okay? Let's look where we are. Okay, now we could be getting this. Now, we're way at the top here. Okay, so we went after these swing points. Okay, let's go over volume. Okay, on the S&P 500 on December 27, 2021, we had a volume of 279.15 million shares. Okay, on the week of January 3rd, 2022, we had 420 million shares. Okay, so 279 and 420, and then now we're going up here with 344 and 441. So we have some solid volume coming up over the top here. Let's see if we're going to start making new highs here. Okay, so we made a new weekly high this week. Okay, so could this be? Let's see if this is a breakout. Now, the last time when we got up to this level on Microsoft, we had like a little bit of one of these, and then we came down. So let's see what happens. We don't know for sure. So we're going to follow the money, okay? We're going to keep following the money on the daily charts and the weeklies and the smaller time frames. Now let's look at the XLF with the banks, okay? We had good volume this week, and we had an engulfing off support here on the 9-day moving average on the weekly chart. So we have some room here. We're in a supply area here. Let's see what happens if we move up, okay? So now we're moving up into these higher volume areas, okay? And these were the high volume areas were the week of February 28, 2022 and March 7th. Okay, so we're moving into that area right now from the high of February 28, 2022 on the weekly, okay? Let's go over to the IWM. Let's see what the speculators are doing. And the speculators, okay, on a weekly chart, we pushed up. Now we hit support and we get a capitulation candlestick with good volume. Okay, so that could mean that we're going to be heading up. Okay, look at the volume here. Now let's get the paint right there. Look at the volume. Look at the capitulation candlestick right off support off a 20-day moving average on the weekly chart. Okay, so as this comes back up, we could just hook up and go back up and retest this high. Okay, right here. And that high was from the week of December 26, 2023, 205.49, and right now it's 192.43. It closed that at the end of the week here on the IWM. SMH, let's go over to SMH. Now, SMH makes a new high this week, and we have a breakout high, okay? So now on SMH, we came back with the channel. This took weeks to do that, right? And then we broke the channel here, came back, sideways consolidation, came back, the buying, and the boom, the breakout. Now we're going into resistance right here, a major resistance at 190.63. Right now you're 187.18 on the semiconductors, okay? So we got to see where we're at, okay? Look at this market taking off. Look at that, okay? So that's something that we're going to continue to watch. Now let's go over to the old world Microsoft. And Microsoft now making a new high, obviously, yes, this week again. So now on a weekly chart, look at the sideways consolidation we had on Microsoft, right? Look at this. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks of consolidation. Now, last week, the week of January 8th, we broke out with a huge engulfing. Okay, and then now we get a little bit of capitulation candlestick, and we close higher again on our way higher, okay? So it looks like we're going to break the 400 area. Now, that's not guaranteed or anything. Nothing's guaranteed in life, right? Other than death and tax. But this is what we're seeing on the chart here. Now, if we go to a daily chart on Microsoft, look at this, okay? Now, look at this. We come into the resistance areas, and we break above, and we close above, and we have higher volume increasing, okay? Be careful with on the week of January 30th of 2024. They have earnings, Microsoft, so you got to be careful. So if you made your profit from down here to here, and we keep going, and then we start getting close to 406 or even 412 or whatever in that area, we have to be careful as we get closer to the earnings. Okay, so just be careful there if you're trading this. If you're sitting long term, you have major support right down here at 381, and you have 387 major support. Okay. Microsoft. So Microsoft looking strong. Apple, let's go over to Apple, and let's go over to Apple first. Let's go over to the weekly chart. Now, on the weekly chart with Apple, okay, let's go over to the line chart for a second. Now, look what we got going on here, okay? So we could get this kind of thing, get this little pullback here, and then boom, we could be off to the races again up to this level. And where is that level? Okay, that's at 203 or 203.58. Okay, we're 191.56 right now on Apple. Okay, let's go over to the candlesticks, and let's go over to the daily chart. I'm trying to go through these fast because we do have a lot to go over here. Now on the daily chart, look at the volume. Look. Draw your eyes down to the volume area. Look at this solid volume here. Okay, that's solid. Now you held support. Look at this, how you held the support with the W formation. You gapped up. Boom. We're off to the races again here with Apple, okay? So on Apple, when you look at where we are on a weekly chart, okay, you get an engulfing with this huge, like, W-looking situation here, okay, with an engulfing with increasing volume. Now, be careful because when are your earnings? The week of January 29th, okay? So you have resistance up at 203.53. So now when you look at the volume going into the swing point of December 11, 2023 with 379.41 million shares, you're going into that with 325. So let's see as it goes to this magnet. These are magnets. Remember what I said? These volume sticks are magnets. It's going to try to tag this area, okay? So let's look because you got all... You can get a little bit of a pullback, a small little pullback right down back to the moving average. Then that'll be another incredible, beautiful retest W situation. And if you get that and you get another engulfing, you got more confirmation that you're going up. Okay. So on Apple, looking good here. Let's go over the 2-hour chart on Apple, as we always do, and look at the volume. Okay. Now we always stretch our out because we got to see what's happening. We have a step up pattern. Okay. Look at the sideways consolidation right at support, okay? That was accumulation of buying. Look at the buyers accumulating right here, okay? The accumulation of buying. Boom! Confirmation with the massive candlestick right there. Almost a velocity candle. So you get the post. You come up, you get sideways situation again. You get more accumulation, okay? You come up, boom, you hit right into resistance, and you get another confirmation of buying. Now you have a sideways overnight, okay? You have beautiful confirmation of buying here. Now you probably get another engulfing up to 193.70, okay? So that's something that just keep following it. You got some beautiful, you'll get a pullback on the 2-hour chart when it pulls all the way down to the bottom, okay? And that could maybe pull back here at one point. That could be, days away. Pull back, and then you want to see it recock and go back up again, okay? Or it could just keep holding with the step pattern. Step pattern is very strong when you get these. See the step pattern? That's very strong when you get that, okay? So just letting you know on that. Let's go over to the gold miners because we always look at the gold miners. And let's go to weekly chart because we're at the end of the week here, okay, on a Saturday afternoon, and we're going over the weeklies. Now, the weekly is pulled back on the miners, okay? So we're heading into these areas with higher volume as we come to these support. Now, you still have higher lows here, okay? Let's see if we stop around here, okay? You could be getting this type of thing, and then back up again, okay? January and February is usually a solid time for the gold market, okay? Now, let's go over to the daily chart on the GDX because we have to. And we have to see. Now, look at the sellers involved here, okay? Look at the selling going on here. There's a lot of selling going on here with the gold miners, okay? You have a lot of selling. They're bringing this back, okay? And they're bringing this back for a nice discount, too. Look at this. You have a major demand area down here, okay? It'll be a safe spot down here to start looking. I'm not saying to do the trade right now because you want to get the retest. You always want to get the retest. Look how you came up. You get the retest. Boom. You get the confirmation, the gap up, and then bam. Okay. You want to get the retest. You had a velocity candlestick here, a reversal candlestick here. Boom. You get the doji right at support. And then boom. And there's your retest W again. And then it heads right back up to there. Okay. So the same thing as we're going down. Okay. Got a little M formation right there. You come down and come back up, and then boom, they slam you down to the support. When you come down to support levels, they got to take profit because the guys who are short, they got to make money, so they got to buy this back, right? Okay, so it's something that always keep your eye on right now. With the just go over to the dollar really quick, with the after the gold here, and then look at the weekly here. Now on the weekly chart on the dollar. Look how they gap down, but they bounce. So they're bouncing up with dojis here, okay? So let's see how far they just bounce this little dollar. Now, if you get this bounce here, and then it holds and we get engulfing, this gold is going to go down, okay? And the dollar is going to go up. That could be strengthening the dollar at this point, okay? So that's something that continue to follow. That's what you're doing. You're following money here, okay? You're not predicting. It's not a prediction thing, okay? It's just following what the big guys are going to do. Goldman Sachs. Now let's go over to Goldman Sachs. Now Goldman Sachs, let me remove this for a second. Goldman Sachs, look up here. Okay, remember what I said in the last video. Okay, we were at the supply area. Okay, we're holding the supply area. So now we want to see what's going to happen here. You come in with decent volume this week. Okay, so it could retest this again. How you'll know is break it down. Go under the hood. Okay, you want to peel layers and layers off so you can see what's happening here. Now, the earnings came in, okay, so you passed that barrier on January 16th with the earnings, okay? So now watch this. Look at the line chart. We do have a little bit of a W formation here, okay, with decent volume underneath right in this area. So let's see if we're going to hold and then make a run, okay, on Goldman, okay? And Goldman's a good stock to trade because it's got excellent volume. Now you go into the post area here, right here with the high volume, right in the spot, right? Okay. So boom, you have support. This is kind of like trading within the box right here. So let's see what happens if we break out and we go to 402.21. Now, if we break lower and go into the high volume areas down here, okay, we'll break lower. It would come down and it would break lower to here if that happens. How you're going to know is you keep looking at the small time frames. Okay, let's look at the increasing buying volume. Okay, on Friday. Okay, look at the increasing buying volume. Okay, look at this. That's increasing buying volume. Okay, now you're trading within the box here, so you got to get out of this area at 386.33 in order to break out. Okay, because you do have some shorts hanging out here, okay? They're hanging out right in that spot right there, okay, to push you down. So let's see what happens if it comes back and then takes another run at it. I mean, I'm not predicting. I'm just telling you what I see, okay? Now on Goldman, let's go to the next one. Let's go really fast to Amazon. We have a lot to cover here. Now on Amazon, look at Amazon now. Amazon crawling its way back up on a weekly chart. But know where you are. Okay, right now you have support right here. You have a support level right there. Boom. Let's call it at 144.71. Right now we're at 155.34. Okay. Know where you're right here. We have a supply area. Know where you are. Okay. Boom. Slammed right into the supply area on the weekly chart. Now you have another one right up here. Okay, right in this spot. So you're teething into where the selling was, okay? Now, it doesn't mean it can't go up. Doesn't mean that you can't go up here, okay? Look at this. Now, you got the higher lows, right? Okay, you pull back all the way to the bottom and you're held, okay? It didn't just pull back and then, boom, start breaking down. It held right here, gapped up with the engulfing, okay? So that's something you always got to look at. And then you come up with a doji right into resistance, okay? So you know you're going to get a change somewhere. You pull back, you hold, now you come back up. You have a little bit of increasing volume. Write down in your book that February 1st is earnings on Amazon, okay? So be careful there, okay? Always be careful. Now, before the earnings, you know, they always like to pump this up. You got a W formation here with a retest W way higher on the right side here. So let's see. As we go into this swing point on January 11th with 49 million shares, look at 51.65 million shares going into the 51. So we got higher volume closing in the same candlestick. That's usually pretty solid up until the next resistance level, which is 157.44, okay? Always remember you're getting a piece of cheese, okay? Here's the resistance and here's your support. So as you move to the 20-day moving average, you held with a doji, okay? You held with the doji. So as you look at that, now you're crossing up again. So let's see if we can pass this point. And then we pass the 158.57, then we go to 162.95. Okay, so let's always continue to watch. Now, let's go over to Tesla. Tesla, we're going over the stocks that we follow, okay? Right now, this is what we're going. And then we have the new list, okay, that people were asking about. So remember with Tesla, what I showed you, okay, on a weekly chart about the channel, okay? I had showed you the channel down, okay? The channel was down. Now look at this, channel down, okay? So you have that little channel going down, so you can go down lower, okay? And test this area right here, okay? You could always go lower. So that's something you always have to be careful on. So on Tesla, go over to do a daily chart, and let's see, when you go over to that daily chart, look at this. You're sitting right at support. Now watch this. Watch where you are. No, remember that old wrestling coach that said know where you are, right? Boom. You're almost out of bounds here, right? You're at the support level. Now, it could break and go down to this level here and retest the 195.09, but you could get a little bit of a bounce. Now, you have earnings on Wednesday, January 24th, okay? So be careful there. Let's see what they do, okay? Now, you have no retesting or anything here, but this could be a bounce for a trade. So we want to see, let's go over the 2-hour chart right now on Tesla. Now, look at the ride down, okay? So you're down on the 2-hour chart, and look at this, okay? You come down 1, you come down 2, you got 3, and you got 4. You get the sideways consolidation, you come up a little bit, and then you break. You got 1, okay? You got 2, you got 3, and now you're at the 4th peak again, okay? So let's see if this just continues to keep going down. Now look at the selling volume as you were coming down a little bit here. Boom, 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 right there. Now you still got really good selling volume coming down, okay? So you don't really have the covering yet here, okay? You don't really have the covering yet on Tesla yet. 45-minute chart says, what does it say, okay? You have a small amount of covering on a 45-minute chart, but that doesn't mean anything. That happened right here too, and it came up a little bit, faked you out, and it was a breakout failure. Okay, so you have the same type of thing and get the breakout failure again here. Okay, so that's something you could manage on the small time frames. Okay, that's something that you want to keep looking at. Obviously, we'll be following that. We did Goldman already. We did Tesla. Let's go to Home Depot. The great Home Depot, okay? And now on Home Depot, look at the weekly chart, okay? So we had the drift back for 3 weeks, right? But look what we were going into. So somebody said, well, how the hell was I going to know that this thing was ever going to go back up? Okay, now watch this. If he goes half into the candlestick right there, and it holds, okay, and it did, you're still going to go up a little bit here, okay? And that's exactly what happened. And you have increasing volume right there on Home Depot, okay? And look at this now. Watch this. Now, people were asking me on the Home Depot, what's going to happen here, okay? So we're just following right now what's happening here, okay? Now, know where you are with the resistance area. So you do have a major, now you have at 376.23, write it down in your book, you have a major resistance level, okay, on a weekly chart. So it could magnetize to that spot right there. You're at 362.41 right now on Home Depot HD, okay? Look at this now. Slamming into resistance right, sideways consolidation with the dojis. Boom. You get the right side of the W. Now, look at this. You get up into the new high area right for now, right? You get this. You're in resistance. You want to break above and hold so you can go to the next level. You could, don't be surprised if you're at the 380.08 area at one point here. So you're at 362.41. So that's how you follow this. Look at the line chart. Okay, look at the W. The incredible, this is a retest W. That's retest. Now, if this was going to fail, it would have stayed here. It would have went like this, and then boom, and we would have seen the red volume pick up. Okay, and it would have stopped here, and then came back down to here. Okay, so that's what would have happened. Okay, if that was happening. Okay, now we have about 7 or 8 minutes left here. Okay, let's go over to Caterpillar, because Caterpillar is, power stock, but breaking down. So now watch on Caterpillar. Okay. Now, Caterpillar is so strong, okay? Now, look at the weekly chart on Caterpillar when you're into resistance. Now, you get up and above resistance, and you hold with a capitulation candlestick here. Let's see if we drift back to the 20-day moving. Now, that could happen. That could very well happen, and then start taking off again, right in that spot, okay? So, look at the daily chart, okay? Look at the daily chart now, making new lows. Now, we're just drifting back here, okay? Remember the earnings. Always know where the earnings are, okay? You come back, got the M formation. Now, the M with the engulfing, okay? Now, you're coming back up. When you came back up here, look at the volume. Let's see if we start getting increasing volume, and then we get this and we get a reversal. Now, that's what we're looking for. Now, if we don't, we're going to get this kind of thing. You're going to come up, and then you're going to get this again. Okay, right here, let's say. Sorry, that's bad drawing. And you'll start drifting back this way, okay? So that's something that you always have to know where you are, okay, on Caterpillar. Costco. Let's go over to Costco because we're running out of time here. 5 or 6 minutes left here. And Costco, you were in resistance now. Now, you made your run trading within the box, okay? Here's your resistance. Here's your support, okay? Look at this right there, okay? Let's get the different color right there, okay? So we got, boom, right there, okay? So this is your box. This is your cheese. Actually, the resistance level was right here, okay? So this was your cheese. Look at that run. Now, look how solid that is. Look how solid that rope is. Riding the rope, I call it, okay? That's riding the rope. That's very, very solid. You'll see that on a 2-hour chart. Look at that. Look at that. Look how solid that rope is. Now, riding the rope, I call it, that's for the time being is a bull. That's a bull run, okay? Look at the volume on the 2-hour chart. Look at this. Look at this buying here. Look at this buying on Costco. Now, you're at resistance, remember, but you still have solid buying volume, okay? And look at, I call it riding the rope, okay? When you have that situation going on. Costco's, a power stock, obviously, so look where you are. Now, know where you are on a weekly chart, because the resistance levels dictate on the weekly chart to the smaller time frames. Now, you got 697.52 on Costco, and you're right smack there. You got 694.97, okay? So you're right there. You're right up into that spot, so you got to be careful, okay, in that spot. You have excellent buying volume on Costco on a weekly chart, okay? Now, it could pass that level, and it could head up to 745.36, too. Okay, that could very well happen also, okay? So, on Costco, NVIDIA, because NVIDIA, we keep going over and over and over, and we hadn't mentioned that. We knew we were going up on NVIDIA. Look at this now. Look at that trading within the box. This is a sideways consolidation on a weekly chart. Look at this. That's very solid when you break out, okay? Now, when you get a sideways consolidation this long and you start breaking out with good volume, look at this. on NVIDIA, okay? Now you're heading up to 620.35. Right now you're at 594.91 on NVIDIA, okay? So continue to look at this and also know where you are, okay? And you're going to get a little stretched out here at one point, okay? So know where your resistance level at 603.68. Know where your resistance level is always too. Okay, so that's on NVIDIA. Now, let's go over to Duke Energy because that's another one we've been following. And on Duke, we have about 4 minutes left here, okay? So on Duke Energy, we know, right, where were we? We were smack right into the supply area. Now, last time I went over that video, I told you we were smack right into something, and boom, look how they took that profit, and boom, you got the engulfing with the red right there, okay? So that's why when you're up in that area, you have to take the profits, okay? Look at this. Now we're breaking down on Duke Energy right now for now. Okay, let's see what happens as this pulls back. Now you're at support here. So let's see if this holds. Let's see if this holds and this, or if we just keep going down here. Then we'll have a different trend, okay, coming, okay, on Duke Energy. Okay, so on Dominion Energy Corporation, look at the energy corporations. The money's coming out. See how the money's coming out on the energy companies right now, okay? The money's coming out, okay? And markets move, the money just moves from one area of the market to the other. It doesn't come out of the market. It just goes from one sector to the next sector to the next sector, and that's how it goes, okay? So always know that it doesn't just come out for good and that's the end of it. These guys, they have their money at work at all times, okay? Now Dominion Energy, look at the weekly chart. Now we're heading back now, okay? We have a small correction now coming on Dominion, okay? So if you're experienced, you're shorting, right, on that. TLT. Now, watch the TLT going up into I have these little spots where there was massive sellers in those spots. So, of course, what happens? Now, look at the selling volume on the weekly chart, okay? So this could be breaking down now on the 20-year Treasury bond, okay? Let's see what happens. Now we got a lot of volume, 303 million shares, coming down right into 261, 271, okay? So this could start heading back. Okay, let's see. Okay, because anything could change at any time. I mean, you could get one of these and you can get a bullish engulf. Okay, and then you start heading up and you got a bullish head and shoulders. That could happen too. I mean, or you could just start breaking down here. Let's see what happens if you start breaking down totally on TLT. We went over the dollar already. Let's go over to Procter & Gamble. We're almost done here. A few more minutes here. And look at Procter & Gamble. Now watch Procter & Gamble, okay, on the weekly chart here. You could have a channel coming down here. Look at this. You could have a channel here coming down because you got an engulfing selling point right at the resistance area. Boom, on a weekly. So let's see. Obviously, we look at the small time frames because we're not waiting for weeks at a time here. We have to know what's happening day by day. We have earnings on January 23rd on Procter & Gamble, okay? So we come underneath the moving average. It held a little bit, but then boom, we got a little selling going into the weekend here, okay? On Procter & Gamble. McDonald's, now watch McDonald's. Remember, look at the W formation, the retest W on the daily chart here. Boom, higher W, engulfing, increasing volume. Boom, gap up. Now slamming into resistance here where profits could be taken at 301.24. Right now it's $300.53, okay? Look at this. Now, know where the earnings are. February 6th, okay? Go over to your weekly chart. Know what the bigger picture is, okay? Know what your bigger picture is. Look at this. Oh, my God. Now, you're breaking above and you're closing above these swing points here, okay? Okay, you're going above and you're going above with higher volume. So you could have a breakout here right in this spot on McDonald's. Look at this. Okay? Now know where you are. Look at the volume, okay? You could be having one of these right now on a weekly basis. Boom. You could have the breakout to 315.33. Okay, go over a 2-hour chart and know what's happening and look at the volume. Okay, you have a lot of volume up in this area right here. Now you could have an exchange of money going on right here for a pullback first. Okay, let's see, because you'll see that happen a lot of times right before it'll drift back, and let's see if it holds. Okay, let's see if it holds. That's something that very strong and solid. Okay, the last one we're gonna go over is Coca-Cola. Okay, so Coca-Cola, because we went over this last time. Look what's happening on the weekly chart as it's pulling back. You're far away from the moving average. Okay, so you'll drift back here. Okay. Look at the candlestick right here with the volume stick right there. So those are usually magnets right in that spot. Should drift back to this area right here. Okay. So that's something that you want to keep an eye on. Look at the daily chart for the move. Okay. Now let's see. You have a sideways consolidation right here. Let's see what they're going to do. So you look for this is what my channel is all about, trading within the box, sideways consolidation. What do we do afterwards, okay? Do we break up, okay, or do we break down, okay? And that's how long you're either going to go up or that's how long you're either going to go down, okay? Thank you for everybody for coming. I want everybody to have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for coming to Trading Within the Box. If you like my content, please like, subscribe, share my channel. And I hope this helps everybody out. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy trading next week.